Well, you've done it now. You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station. So expect the unexpected.
Woohoo! It's time for open season with award-winning sportscaster Larry Burnett. Open season, where they tackle issues, drop gloves, and swing for the fences. Hey, let's quit wasting time and dive right in to open season. Open season is on the air, in the air, and almost everywhere. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Sports Fan, and all ships at sea. We are live in Springfield, Mass., where Shaq is on the doorstep of the Basketball Hall of Fame. I'll talk with the big guy. You want Goldberg? We've got him. In depth, up close, like you've never heard Goldberg before. Is he coming back to the WWE or what?
My son wants to see me do it live, and I'd be open to talking about something in the future if that was the case.
We'll get you geared up for the NFL openers. Carolina at Denver tonight. Can Cam get the job done this season?
He commands such presence, and his talent is overwhelming.
You'll hear from Phil Simms, Boomer Esiason, and Bill Cowher of the NFL on CBS. Plus, Jeff Fisher talks about his L.A. Rams. What do you say about that, Boomer?
For me, I'd say bring it on. I love it.
We'll kick around UCLA and USC getting kicked around and dropping in the polls. And Bama hiring Steve Sarkisian. Oh, my! Plus, Kershaw's coming back, and Goldberg back on open season. Are you excited to be back on the show, Bill?
Does Howdy Doody have wooden balls? That would be my answer.
It's time for open season, where our motto remains, if it's news in sports, it's news to us. I think Goldberg's excited to be back on the show, and we're excited to have him. I'm Larry Burnett with Eric Geller. I am in Springfield, Massachusetts, not far from the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, where the Hall of Fame inductions will be going on tomorrow night here on the East Coast. Today they had a news conference to introduce the newest class to the Hall of Fame, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Eric Geller is with us again this week, and he is out at Rams camp, now at Cal Lutheran University in Thousand Oaks, right?
Yes, I am. I'm in the media room, and guys are eating pizza around me, and it smells really good, and I might have to dive into some pizza in a little while. You're talking in that very mellow kind of people might be listening voice. No, I don't want to be too loud. They're enjoying their pizza. I see. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. So anyway, I took the red eye last night to get here to Springfield, Mass. Today for the news conference. What a class going into the Basketball Hall of Fame tomorrow night. Zelmo Beatty, Darryl Garrettson, the great referee, Allen Iverson, Tom Izzo, the late John McClendon, Shaquille O'Neal, Cumberland Posey, Jerry Reinsdorf, Cheryl Swoops, and Yao Ming. And they were all here today except for Allen Iverson. He was a no-show for today's ceremony, which was kind of interesting. But Shaq, of course, what everybody's looking at for this class. And, I got a chance to talk with him after today's news conference. He met with the media, and he talked about his dealings with the media, and he talked about his career and his career in Los Angeles. And I kind of got the feeling that he was a little miffed that Allen Iverson didn't show up. Listen.
I don't know how you missed this. They've been, hey, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well.
They've been telling us about this for 3 months, and I actually had this schedule memorized. I don't memorize a lot of stuff, but I had this one memorized, and I don't know how you missed it. I wouldn't miss it for a world. I bought about 1,000 tickets to each event, so all my family, everybody will be there, and it's just great. Hey, I'm going to get my ring and get my jacket.
Shaq, how do you define your career now that you reflect back on it this weekend?
I think I had an impressive career. Only thing that upsets me about my career is missing 250 games, averaging 25 points at that time. It's another 5,000 points. I wanted to arrogantly say, after passing up Wilt Chamberlain in stats, I wanted to arrogantly say I'm the most dominant big man ever to play the game. I don't want to hear anybody else's name, but got cut short, tore my Achilles, and I'm still behind Wilton points. Passed him up in championships, but I wanted to. I mean, Bill Russell and Kareem. Bill Russell. Nobody's getting 11. Kareem has 6. I got 4. I probably could have squeezed in a couple of them, but I just wanted to pass over Wilt Chamberlain because me and him are the same type of players. Like, I only had 1 or 2 years where they said he was the best player, but my whole career was he's more dominant than the other player, and that's the niche that I wanted to carve my name in, as being one of the most dominant players to ever play. So I'm really upset that I was injured all those games, and I wish I just could have, passed him up so I could just boastfully say, jokingly say, but truthfully say that I'm the most dominant big man ever. But that's not the case so far.
What about your feelings on your years in Los Angeles?
It was great. It happened the way it happened. Storybook ending. Jerry West set the tone for me. When I first got there, he turned off all the lights in the forum and had the spotlight pointed at the jerseys. And he said, look, I know you got a lot going on. I know you're doing movies and doing albums, but when it's all said and done, you could be a bust or you could have your name up there. And in order to have my name up there, I had to earn it. And, Phil Jackson came and Kobe and I, we got 3 and then got traded and went down with this fella and got 1. So, crazy thing is I only wanted 1. But, you guys only gave me a week to hang out, and then, Shaq got 1, can he get 2? Shaq got 2, can he get 3? Oh, he got 3, can he get 4? They got a super team. Oh, no, super team's just back. Shaq's traded, he's done. And we get another one in Miami. So it's all fun. And I think the relationship I had with you guys was fun. You guys are a part also in this success because, I'm very sensitive. He knows. Like, I read everything you guys said, and if I didn't like it, I was never going to be disrespectful and come at you or write your letter. I was just going to go out on the court and try to make you shut up.
There you have it, Shaq, after today's Hall of Fame news conference. Interesting, because a lot of guys say, well, I don't read what anybody writes. I don't listen to any of that stuff. He read and listened to everything and used it as an incentive and motivation to play harder and better.
Yeah, he did. And what about, you didn't get the Zelmo Beatty interview? I'm disappointed.
Well, if I were, it would be a scoop. I mean, yeah. Zelmo's been dead for a while, so
but
makes it a little difficult. But Shaq is still the goof that he has always been. It was nice because I showed up at the table where he was a little bit after he had started talking. He looked up and saw me. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Which is nice. But Cheryl Swoops, another of the class of 2016, and she went up and everybody spoke for a couple of minutes today. And she said, I have to tell you that before I came up here, Shaq offered me $1 million.
Wow.
Everybody said, what? He said, yeah, Shaq offered me $1 million if I would fall coming down the red carpet into the room.
Did she consider it at all? Or
she said she did consider it, but she said, show me the money, and apparently he did not have the cash. So that's the deal on
plastic. That. He's got to have plastic in his wallet. Take it.
You know what? If I'm gonna take a flop in front of
it better be green. I got you.
My family, I want to see the money. So the big induction ceremony is tomorrow night here in Springfield. And get this, here are some of the people presenting. Lenny Wilkins for Zelmo Beatty, David Stern for Darryl Garretson, Larry Brown, Julius Irving, John Thompson for Allen Iverson if he shows up. They say he will. Gary Williams for Tom Izzo, Wayne Embry and a bunch of others for John McClendon. For Shaq, Dr. J, Alonzo Mourning, Bill Russell, Isaiah Thomas. For Cumberland Posey, it'll be Earl Monroe, the Pearl. Jerry Reinsdorf will be presented by Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen. Cheryl Swoops presented by Van Chancellor and Nancy Lieberman. And Yao Ming will be presented by Dikembe Mutombo, Bill Russell, and Bill Walton.
Wow. I just hope Iverson shows up. If he doesn't show up, that's terrible. What are you doing? I think he was kind of bitter the way his career ended. he was in Memphis, and then he decided to quit there. But
he had been in Denver for a while, and
Yeah.
I saw reports on the internet, and of course, if it's on the internet, it must be true, that he was broke, and that he was saying that he didn't have enough money to buy a cheeseburger. So I don't know what's behind it, but this is a fantastic honor, and if he lets this one slip away, there's a real problem. All right, we packed a whole bunch of stuff into this first segment. I wanted to get that Shaq interview on because there's nobody else from Los Angeles here to cover this. So wanted you to have that. And just alerting Brandon, our engineer, we're going to slide things down on the format here a little bit, and we'll talk about that. We've got NFL coming up, and we've got Goldberg coming up. Talking about whether he's coming back, and later we'll talk about his life after wrestling. We got Boomer Esiason. We got a bunch of stuff in the show. We're in Springfield, Mass. We're at Rams camp, and we're right here on open season, so come on back.
If you're trying to prevent home foreclosure, you need a law firm with extensive experience representing clients in protecting their homes from foreclosure. The Goodman Law Firm is a nationwide team of mortgage mitigation attorneys that provides legal advice and expertise you can trust. Our nationwide network includes local of-counsel foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has represented homeowners across the nation in resolving their troubled mortgages. We have the experience and the knowledge you can count on to best represent your interests. The banks have attorneys fighting to protect their interests, and so should you. Call the Goodman Law Firm at 888-800-6030. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Contact us at 888-800-6030 or through our website at arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Have you ever gone to use a flashlight and the batteries were dead or the inside of the flashlight corroded, only having to throw it away? Or in a location where you had no way to charge your cell phone or camera? Well, all that has changed. Now there's Hybrid Light. The Hybrid Light brings the best of both worlds together with a strong 160 lumen LED light that lasts 12 hours on a single charge, and after a recharge from any light or power source, you're ready to go again. Hybrid Light lasts 7 long years and is even waterproof, and also contains a USB port to plug in your cell phone or camera to give you that special charge when you're not near an outlet. All this for the low price of $39.95 with promo code GARY. Call 1-800-297-8109 to be the first to have this great tool, or go to our website, hybridlight.com. That's 800-297-8109 or hybridlight.com, hybridlight.com, and don't forget to use promo code GARY.
9MD Beverly Hills provides skincare solutions for patients undergoing cancer treatments. Personalized treatment regimens are initiated to achieve optimum remission states in those dealing with cancer. The IS Clinical Harmony Cancer Care Facial at 9MD Beverly Hills safely offers hope and relief for those challenged with the side effects and repercussions of intense cancer treatments such as radiation and chemotherapy. Rejuvenate, replenish, and soothe your skin. Let our certified technicians at 9MD Beverly Hills safely and effectively heal your skin with our IS Clinical products that are pharmaceutical grade, botanically based, paraben free, and do not enter the bloodstream. Enjoy a day of pampering and revitalize your skin with 9MD Beverly Hills and our IS Clinical Harmony Cancer Care Facial for just $179. Each patient will receive a complimentary gift bag for take-home care. For more information, please call 310-777-7511 or visit us at www.9amd.com. That's www.nainamd.com.
All right, we're back on open season. The NFL is back, and we are back. Larry Burnett here in Springfield, Mass. for the Basketball Hall of Fame inductions tomorrow night, and Eric Geller at Rams camp out of Cal Lutheran University. What the heck are they doing out there at that media room?
We're just waiting for Coach Fisher and Case Keenum to come in after practice at about 4:40. So we're all gathering, and some of these guys are getting their sportscast together and eating pizza. And I'm left out of the pizza thing right now. So we're good.
Well, there you go. There's
plenty of it. There's plenty of it to go around.
NFL tonight, Carolina at Denver, Super Bowl rematch. Cam Newton versus Trevor Siemian. No, it's not Peyton Manning anymore. It's Trevor Siemian making his first NFL start. And, of course, last year it was the Broncos over the Panthers in Super Bowl 50, and it was Peyton Manning riding off into the sunset. Cam Newton, on the other hand, had his share of problems, but the NFL on CBS crew, Bill Cowher, Boomer Esiason, and Phil Simms, they don't see Newton having any negative carryover from last season.
There's no reason to think that his quality of play is going to go downhill. His confidence was not shaken because of the Super Bowl. He played against one of the best defenses I've seen in modern-day NFL, so that first time seeing it can always catch you by surprise, but he's a tremendous talent. I've watched him. I watched him the other night play a little bit, and I just go, he's a force. He's just a different type of player on the football field. He commands such presence, and his talent is overwhelming. So, and they are still, without question, one of the best-looking football teams in the NFL, and I think they'll still be a big factor when you talk about Super Bowls. They're going to be right in the mix.
This is Boomer. I totally agree with Phil. The fact that Cam Newton is the athlete that he is, the physical presence that he is on the football field, I think these preseason games really aren't an indication of anything that we're going to see. And they'll be better offensively just simply because of the health that they go into the season with. He will be one of the higher candidates for MVP once again. He's just that dynamic of a player.
I think also remember, he gets Kelvin Benjamin back, and that was a big part of their offense a year ago that they did not have. So I agree with everybody. I think that he's groomed to have another big year.
All right, so the CBS guys are liking Cam Newton and the Panthers over Denver. We'll see. Denver's got a good defense, but what are they going to do in the running game? What are they going to be able to do with the young quarterback? Sunday, Oakland at New Orleans. Drew Brees has got a new contract. He's a happy guy.
Yeah, but they really don't have a backup for him. They don't have a lot of weapons anymore, so I don't know. He's a happy guy. He's a rich guy now, but their weapons, they don't have the weapons they used to have.
He's a richer guy now.
Yeah.
He's been a rich guy for a lot of years. Monday night, it's the Rams at the 49ers, and Eric's been hanging out at Rams camp. He talked with head coach Jeff Fisher about what the coach thinks the real strengths are for this team this year.
Right now, it's the chemistry. I believe it's the locker room. This is a really close group, and chemistry in the locker room wins you games. And distractions, on the other hand, can cost you games. And this group has the mindset not to let these moves and all these things become distractions. Rather, let's bring us closer together. It's not about.
Now, you talk about distractions and things. Jared Goff is going to be inactive for Monday night's game. That could be a real distraction for him and for this team, couldn't it?
Or it could not be a distraction because they don't have to worry about that on Monday night. But I was kind of surprised that he didn't say that his defensive line was the strength of the team. But I see where he's going because, he's got to get everybody on board, and they do have good chemistry. But we'll see what happens. I don't think that Jared Goff being inactive is going to be a distraction one bit because he's not going to be there. So it's Keenum and Mannion. And those guys are good quarterbacks.
I guarantee you it'll be a topic on the
sure
telecast, and they'll get a lot of shots of him standing on the sideline in his sweats and talking about the big number one pick not being ready to go in game one. We saw a lot about the inside workings of the Rams in Hard Knocks. The series is over. I thought they did an excellent job. Maybe you could figure out what Jeff Fisher's thinking and what he wants from this team. But here's Jeff Fisher talking about what he feels is the philosophy of this Rams team.
It's not about who you play next week or the week after. It's what happens to them after we play them. That's kind of the pride that we have in our room, in our building, is that they're going to play us too, and it's not going to be pretty, and you're not going to feel good when it's over. So good luck to you next week after we play.
All right. Well, I like it.
Well, you got to consider who he played for in college, John Robinson, and what their philosophy was. It was about running and dominating the lines of scrimmage. How about the Chicago Bears, Mike Ditka? And then I think he was an assistant under, I believe, Robinson again with the Rams, and maybe even Chuck Knox, and that's ground Chuck right there. So that's his philosophy. They want to, set up the pass with the run, and they've got one of the best running backs, and of course, that offensive line and that defensive line obviously can dominate a game.
Okay, we're going to hear from former Ram Fred Dreyer later in this edition of Open Season. And Brandon, I'm alerting you, I'm jumping all the way down the format here because Bill Goldberg used to play for the Rams, but people are more interested in his wrestling future these days. Goldberg is the former WCW and WWE champion, and ever since his face showed up on the box for the WWE 2K17 video game, which comes out in October, rumors have been flying about a possible comeback for Goldberg to the WWE. Well, Bill is my brother-in-law, so I went straight to the source to find out if there's any truth behind all these rumors.
It's its own animal. Every morning I wake up and I see a new headline that I'm in talks, and let the people believe what they want to believe.
All right. Well, that's a little teaser there, but we've got a full interview with Bill here talking about, what's all this promotion stuff? What's is there anything to it?
Once we get close, then we'll excuse me, guys.
Workforce just hasn't changed their system. 15 years.
All right, we got a little problem getting Goldberg ready to go. I tell you what, why don't we jump to a break? We'll hear from Goldberg, and Clayton Kershaw's coming back. The Trojans had problems out of the gate. Former Ram Fred Dreyer's coming up. We got a lot of stuff, so stick with us, and we'll get to Goldberg after this time out in Open Season.
Have you ever gone to use a flashlight and the batteries were dead or the inside of the flashlight corroded, only having to throw it away? Or in a location where you had no way to charge your cell phone or camera? Well, all that has changed. Now there's Hybrid Light. The Hybrid Light brings the best of both worlds together with a strong 160 lumen LED light that lasts 12 hours on a single charge, and after recharge from any light or power source, you're ready to go again. Hybrid Light lasts 7 long years and is even waterproof, and also contains a USB port to plug in your cell phone or camera to give you that special charge when you're not near an outlet. All this for the low price of $39.95 with promo code GARY. Call 1-800-297-8109 to be the first to have this great tool, or go to our website, hybridlight.com. That's 800-297-8109 or hybridlight.com, hybridlight.com, and don't forget to use promo code GARY.
If you're trying to prevent home foreclosure, you need a law firm with extensive experience representing clients in protecting their homes from foreclosure. The Goodman Law Firm is a nationwide team of mortgage mitigation attorneys that provides legal advice and expertise you can trust. Our nationwide network includes local of-counsel foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has represented homeowners across the nation in resolving their troubled mortgages. We have the experience and the knowledge you can count on to best represent your interests. The banks have attorneys fighting to protect their interests, and so should you. Call the Goodman Law Firm at 888-800-6030. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Contact us at 888-800-6030 or through our website at arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
9MD Beverly Hills provides skincare solutions for patients undergoing cancer treatments. Personalized treatment regimens are initiated to achieve optimum remission states in those dealing with cancer. The IS Clinical Harmony Cancer Care Facial at 9MD Beverly Hills safely offers hope and relief for those challenged with the side effects and repercussions of intense cancer treatments such as radiation and chemotherapy. Rejuvenate, replenish, and soothe your skin. Let our certified technicians at 9MD Beverly Hills safely and effectively heal your skin with our IS Clinical products that are pharmaceutical grade, botanically based, paraben-free, and do not enter the bloodstream. Enjoy a day of pampering and revitalize your skin with Nina MD Beverly Hills and our IS Clinical Harmony Cancer Care Facial for just $179. Each patient will receive a complimentary gift bag for take-home care. For more information, please call 310-777-7511 or visit us at www.ninamd.com. That's www.ninamd.com.
Okay, we are still rolling here on open season. Larry Burnett in Springfield, Mass. for the Basketball Hall of Fame inductions, and Eric Geller at Rams Camp at Cal Lutheran University. We were teeing up Bill Goldberg and all these rumors about a possible return to the WWE. Let's hear what he has to say.
All it means is that the promotion for WWE 2K17 has worked quite well. I'm the special downloadable character for the video game, which I haven't been part of for a number of years. And Brock Lesnar is the cover star, and he was the last person that I wrestled back, God knows how long ago it was.
2004.
Yeah, and, you know, people make the association. I have said many times in the past that, you know, my son wants to see me do it live, and, you know, I'd be open to talking about something in the future if that was the case. And, you know, hey, man, life's too short. I'm 49 years old right now. Push everything under the bridge and, you know, maybe try to provide my son with a cool experience. But, you know, as of right now, that's not in my plan by any stretch of the imagination. We haven't been in contact. We haven't negotiated. So it's the world of social media and the rumors flying rampant. And, you know, at the end of the day, I'm greatly appreciative that anybody would still want to see me go out there and do my thing. You know, there's a lot of things to be taken into consideration if I was even to contemplate something like that. But, you know, as I always say, never say never. I mean,
All right, so the door is open.
Yeah, the door's been open for a while, for sure.
Okay, now you're going to be 50 years old in December. If you decided that you wanted to return to wrestling, could you still do it?
My famous quote from your father-in-law was, "Does Howdy Doody have wooden balls?" That would be my answer. The reality is that I still train Muay Thai, you know, 3 to 5 days a week. And, you know, I try to stay in top physical condition. Am I 285 pounds and my traps coming right out of my ears? Absolutely not. But I'm a healthy 270, and you know, like I say, man, you never close the door.
Yeah. Okay. So, recent headlines: wheels are in motion for Goldberg WWE return. Goldberg returned to WWE looking good. Goldberg returning. Will Goldberg return to WWE? Now, you're telling me unequivocally now, Bill, that you've had no conversations with Vince McMahon, or you or your agents, any conversations with McMahon or WWE about you returning to wrestle?
Yeah, I haven't had any conversations with him. But like I said, this relationship that I have with him now is much better than the relationship I've had with him in the past 12 years.
Okay.
So it may lead people to believe that the relationship's getting better, and the natural progression for the special downloadable character traditionally for WWE, 2K, has been a legend that comes back, takes part in the video game, and then gets back in the ring, does his final foray, and then rides off into the sunset. So people are just assuming that the past is going to repeat itself. And like I said, I'm greatly appreciative and honored that anybody would, number one, still remember me, number two, care, and number three, think that I could still compete at a level to where it could still entertain people.
Talking with Bill Goldberg here on Open Season. So you can see where people can connect the dots and assume that there is a warming of the relationship between you and Vince McMahon and the WWE. Obviously, McMahon or the organization had to sign off on you being on the 2K17 video game, right?
Yeah, so that in itself is a monumental accomplishment. But I'm greatly appreciative, and any positive news is a feather in your cap, especially 12 years removed from the business that they're talking about. So yeah, it's definitely a positive. It's not something I'm trying to flourish here by any means, but I mean, it is what it is. It's its own animal. Every morning I wake up and I see a new headline that I'm in talks, and let the people believe what they want to believe.
Now, I think it's interesting that McMahon and the WWE signed off on you being on the video game, because when you left, it wasn't on good terms. Some of your quotes, I can't really say anything positive about the man. It's kind of like working for a carny who's driven only by his ego. And then, I don't need to look over my shoulder for my boss. I don't need to crawl back to anybody for anything. I'll dig a ditch before I do that. Let's set the record straight here. On the video game, you don't work for the WWE. They're not writing you a check, are they?
I do not work for the WWE on the video game. No,
so 2K Sports is the organization that handles the video game, and your deal is with them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember one of the bits that you were doing while you were wrestling, and you punched a window in a limo and cut yourself up pretty bad, right?
That wasn't the smartest thing to do by any stretch.
Well, they wanted you to do it with a bat or something, right?
Yeah, sledgehammer. But I missed it on the way out. I couldn't identify it. I don't know. I blacked out or something on the way out. Who knows? But I believe it was the highest rated segment on TNT history at the time. So something good came out of it.
Yeah, but although people will say it's scripted entertainment, there's a high level of athleticism and / danger that goes with pro wrestling, right?
Huge amounts. Look at the guys right now in the forefront of their business, and look how many of them are hurt. Look how many of them retire early because of head injuries. Or it's running rampant. It's the age of head injuries. Yeah. Whether it's football, wrestling, whatever it may be these days. And I'm a firm believer that the athletes need to be, safety is the number one concern. There's a lot that goes into it, though.
There's all the talk about the concussions and things like that. Now, you've played in the NFL, and you've played in a very rough business of professional wrestling. And the other side of this, too, Bill, is, a lot of your former colleagues are dying early. Wrestlers are dying at young ages. Does that concern you?
Well, no question. I mean, it concerns everybody, and it's a trend that's happened throughout the years. And, there's a lot of contributing factors to it. I think the lifestyle has a lot to do with it. I mean, it's why rock and rollers don't last, till they're 100 years old, I think. It's just, it's time on it's like being a rock and roll star with physicality, added into it. You're run down night after night after night, and it's a dangerous sport. And at the end of the day, we're trying to entertain the people with the highest impact moves and the most violent stuff humanly possible. And people are going to get hurt. They're trying to push the envelope.
It is a very, very dangerous business. There's no question about that. We'll hear more from Goldberg a little bit later on about his life after wrestling, but I want to hopscotch around here a little bit. Clayton Kershaw coming back tomorrow to pitch for the Dodgers against the Marlins. Is that good news or bad news for the Dodgers, Eric?
I think it's good news, the way that pitching staff is being handled and the way they're winning. They're 5 games ahead of the Giants. If they can get anything from Kershaw, which I think they will, you never know. I think they're good enough.
I think somebody in that team is going to say, "What are you doing back here? We didn't need you.
We don't need you." Exactly. Yeah. We need another injured guy to come up.
What a scary thing! A few days ago, when Matt Shoemaker was on the mound for the Angels, he got hit, and it was Kyle Seager who hit the ball for Seattle. Hit him right in the head. Yeah. Had to have brain surgery, and thankfully things are good. And somebody asked me the other day, why don't pitchers wear helmets? And they have come out with helmets over the years. And there was a guy with the Mets a couple of years ago who had like a turban kind of thing that he wore, and people made fun of him. And I don't know if it throws off their delivery or whatever it is, but somebody needs to find something that these guys can wear out there to protect themselves.
It's happening a lot. There's a lot of baseballs, line drives going right after the pitcher, right off the bat, and it's happened a couple of times this year. And at some point, and these guys are strong, obviously, and the pitchers, and there's a lot of torque, and that ball's just flying off that bat. They got to do something, because that was close the other day for Matt Shoemaker. That was really close.
Somebody's gonna get killed. I remember way back when Herb Score pitched for Cleveland. He got hit right in the face.
Yeah.
And his career was pretty well shot. College football over the weekend. Bama trounced USC, Clemson #2 this week, Florida State #3, Ohio State #4 in both of the polls. Oklahoma and LSU were big losers. I don't know what USC was doing with that zombie walk kind of a thing coming in, but if you're going to come in like that, you better play a heck of a lot better than they did against Alabama.
Or you're expecting to die really quickly, which is what they did. That was, I think they worked more on that walking out onto the field than they did on their game plan, and that's really sad. The defense was playing pretty well there for that first quarter, and then obviously the offense couldn't get anything done. And at some point, the dam is going to burst, and Alabama's just going to start to roll like they do, and that's what happened.
Well, and this kid Ruffin gets kicked out of the game for stepping on the crotch of one of the
What are they thinking?
I can't believe Helton only suspended him for half a game. He's only going to miss half a game.
Yeah,
I mean, he stomped on the guy's manhood here, and he gets a half a game? I don't get it.
Right away, there's issues there. There's coaching issues now, really. I mean, if he can't control his team like that, that's crazy.
Well, again, and we talked last year, did they vet him enough along the way? Did they give him enough time? They hired him before the bowl games, and he hasn't won since.
No.
I hope he does well. But how about Lane Kiffin and his little tweet afterwards with 3:14 a.m. LAX reminding everybody that they just stuck it to the team that fired him out on the tarmac a couple of years ago?
Well, that's fine. He's a great offensive coordinator. There you go. As far as a head coach, who knows? But, he's got to forget about it. Just move on. He's already got a national championship ring with the Tide, and he's still bitter for that.
Yeah.
Well, it has a lot to do with his coaching.
I have to tell you, I think he's an arrogant guy, and I don't really, like the way he handles things. But I actually thought that was kind of a nice little dig.
Well, sure. I mean, especially if you beat the team 52-6 that you used to coach. Sure.
Yeah. And they're hiring Steve Sarkisian down there. Maybe he's the guy who's going to come in and take Kiffin's place if Kiffin goes on and gets a head coaching job. USC Saturday against Utah State. UCLA lost in overtime. That was an exciting game.
It was,
Texas
but
A&M.
I was disappointed that they're down 24-6 early. I thought they would, come out with gangbusters. I thought they should have won that game really, but they dug themselves a hole, which was just as bad, if not, not worse than USC. But you can't go down 24-6 like that.
Well, and too many mistakes, too many drop balls, and Josh Rosen, he just didn't play well as far as I'm concerned. No. Saturday night, UCLA gets back at it again against UNLV. All right, let's get back to the Rams here. You had a chance to talk with Fred Dreyer?
Yeah. The legendary defensive end was one of many Ram alums that were at Tuesday's Rams charity kickoff luncheon. And after the festivities, I asked him and if he and his teammates were excited that the Los Angeles Rams are finally kicking off this Monday against San Francisco.
Yeah, everybody's excited. You're about a week away from kickoff for the opening of the NFL season for 2016, and everybody's excited. It's great. It's great to be a part of it.
And the anticipation for you, especially because for a while you guys had nowhere to go. I mean, this was your team, and you really didn't have a team.
Well, for 22 years, we had to make do with what we have. We had SC, UCLA. I had my Aztecs down in San Diego. I got to catch up on for the last 20 years. But for the most part, people really miss the Rams, and now that they're back, it's good for everybody.
And you're obviously excited.
At this very moment, not as excited as I will be, but I can anticipate it being a lot of fun for everybody. You kind of fall back into old habits, which are good.
What are you looking forward to from this team? Obviously, the defense. What do you like about them?
Activity, speed, team speed, individual speed is really, I think, what defines defenses. And they've got a pretty fast defense, which I'm looking forward to watching.
Is it exciting for you just to be talking about the Los Angeles Rams again?
Well, there's a history here. There's a tradition. And it's great that it's back. And I think this defense for this particular year is a good one to introduce the fans to.
You haven't. You got to build it up to that.
I was trying to get it out of him. Yeah. He just wouldn't. He
Rams
just wouldn't
and the
go for
Niners
the
on
bait.
Monday night. Their first home game will be Sunday, September 18th against Seattle, and then they got back-to-back road games at Tampa Bay and Arizona. Matter of fact, they've only got 2 situations this year where they have back-to-back home games, so they're going to have to get a lot of things done on the road. We're going to get back in just a second on open season. We'll check back in with Goldberg when we continue here on this fine program, so stick with us.
Have you ever gone to use a flashlight and the batteries were dead or the inside of the flashlight corroded, only having to throw it away? Or in a location where you had no way to charge your cell phone or camera? Well, all that has changed. Now there's Hybrid Light. The Hybrid Light brings the best of both worlds together with a strong 160 lumen LED light that lasts 12 hours on a single charge, and after recharge from any light or power source, you're ready to go again. Hybrid Light lasts 7 long years and is even waterproof, and also contains a USB port to plug in your cell phone or camera to give you that special charge when you're not near an outlet. All this for the low price of $39.95 with promo code GARY. Call 1-800-297-8109 to be the first to have this great tool, or go to our website, hybridlight.com. That's 800-297-8109 or hybridlight.com, hybridlight.com, and don't forget to use promo code GARY.
Welcome back once again to Open the Season. In case you tuned in late, I've been talking with pro wrestler Goldberg today. Rumors rampant that he's going to be returning to the WWE. And Bill told me, yes, the door is open to a possible return, but that there have been no discussions or negotiations with Vince McMahon or the WWE. Now, Goldberg's last bout was against Brock Lesnar back in 2004 at WrestleMania 20. Since then, he's been acting in movies, hosting TV shows, working with charities, and raising a family in Southern California. So I asked Goldberg what it's been like making a life without wrestling.
Oh, man, where do I begin? The stress level is way down, even though you're dealing with Hollywood, and that is an animal in and of itself. The stress level's way down, man. You're not on national television in your underwear every day. And you're not told what to do all the time. And at 49 years old, I'm done with people telling me what to do. I mean, I was done with it years ago, and I am completely done with it now. And there's a huge bit of satisfaction there.
Sure.
And, doing what you like to do. And, hey, the reality is I'm a father now, and I'm a husband. And that's my role, and I step to the back as far as importance in the family. And my biggest goal right now is to be the best father and to be the best husband I can be for the rest of my life. That's the only reason why I'd consider wrestling again, is because of my son, and my wife. She's never seen me wrestle before. We got married afterwards. So, it's a tough decision, but I'm pretty damn lucky. Let's just put it that way. I've been afforded a lot of opportunities, and I am the happiest man in the world with my family right now in the situation that I'm in.
And we should say that you do signings and you're involved in conventions and things like that. To what, Bill? What do you attribute the fact that you still got this popularity all these years after you've been in the ring?
I think the character had everything to do with it. I think the handling of the character had a lot to do with it. I think the passion for these wrestling fans has a lot to do with it. And I think the fact that I've kept myself in pretty damn good shape throughout, still likens itself to the possibility of me going back and doing something.
You got a new movie coming up that you're going to start shooting soon, and you're not just acting in this one, you're more involved, right?
Yeah, man, and I don't know if I ever want to do this one again. It's signing on the dotted line, being an actor, showing up, they give you your lines, you do your thing, and you're out. That's It seems a hell of a lot easier than taking on a co-executive producer role, but it's something that I very much enjoy. It's something to be able to work with your friends and produce a product that you're proud of. So we will be embarking on it out in Louisiana, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
What's the name of the movie? What's it going to be about?
Max Yeager, Special Ops. It centers on, homegrown terrorism and the United States' ability to keep its citizens safe and understand that there are dangers out there that are unbeknownst to most of the citizens today, and it's happening everywhere, not just overseas, but on our own soil. And I'm an ex special ops hand-to-hand combat operative, and I'm kind of brought back into the fray. That's about all I can tell you right now, man.
Wow.
That's a tune in.
Oh, yeah. Well, so you're the Max Yeager character?
I would be him.
That
would be me. Yes, sir.
Well, it sounds interesting. What did you think when it came out recently that Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, is now the highest paid actor in movies?
I think it's well deserved. He is a special human being. His entertainment skills are unparalleled with anyone out there, I believe. He's always been that guy. This was Hollywood was a natural progression for him, and, his hard work and determination have more than paid off. He's been in the right place at the right time in the beginning, and he watered the plant, and man, is it flourishing. So I'm extremely happy for him. And, hey man, if you need somebody to kick your ass in a movie, Rock, you know who to call.
It's interesting, Bill, because when you were so hot in the WCW and then the WWE, you were kind of on that upward track. I mean, you were getting the movie roles, and you were getting the opportunities. My feeling is that you could have been The Rock if you had stayed in wrestling at the time. Do you ever look back and have misgivings about not sticking with the business?
Well, yeah, there's no question. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. There's another dadism.
And you got a lot of balls things going on here.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's that male testosterone thing coming out of me. But man, I'm just blessed. I truly am. But would I change anything that I've done? No. I truly believe that I'm just not that guy. I'd like to say that I'm a competitor and I'm not an entertainer. I like to go out and compete. I don't clamor for that spotlight, man. I really don't. I drive a '99 Dodge truck that's beat to hell.
I've seen it.
I don't drive around in a new Ferrari or a new Mercedes or something and say, "Hey, look at me." I'd rather drive around in a car where people will go, "Man, there's no way that's Goldberg driving that truck." So, I just want to go through life as the path of least resistance. I step back out of the spotlight, so to say, after my wrestling days, because it was too much work, man, to be that next guy, that next superhero guy. It wasn't something that I was willing to put time into. It's a decision that I will never go back on.
All right, I just want to throw a few more questions at Bill Goldberg here on Open Season. Well, you talk about political thrillers and things. We've got Donald Trump running for president here, and you were on his Apprentice show a few years ago. What was that experience like?
I try to repress those negative experiences in my life.
Well, that's why I'm here, to bring them back up.
Yeah, well, thank you, Larry. It was different, man. It was like working for Vince McMahon there for a while.
Okay, so who is more annoying? Who is more annoying, Donald Trump or Vince McMahon?
Oh man, I didn't deal with Vince enough to be able to compare those two, but
okay,
I'd say Donald's fairly annoying.
Yeah. So what was your interaction with him? Because I know it didn't go well for you there on The Apprentice.
it didn't go well for me because I was tired of people sticking cameras in my face from 6 a.m. to 12 midnight every night. Enough was enough. But that's the premise of that show. They goad you like a caged animal, and you reach your boiling point, and then the red light goes on.
Yeah,
that's the show. I mean, it is what it is. And then, I knew the TV business getting into it. I didn't play their game, and I think I made a producer cry on set every 3 days. That was my average.
Oh my!
So at the end of the day, man, just don't lie to me, and don't think that I'm stupid, because you can see what they do. It's pretty divisive, but that's why they get some good sound bites.
Exactly. Exactly. And you had a quote after it, Bill. You said, "The fact that I did hold my cool throughout that show was a huge victory in and of itself. There were a number of times where I was going to implode." So what is it, like they're poking you with sticks so they can get their good moments on TV?
Absolutely. It's created animosity, and the camera goes on. So the fact that I didn't leave anyone in a pool of blood is a win-win for me.
What do you think about Trump running for president? He's the Republican nominee.
I think I'm checking about my wife's Canadian citizenship and see if I can jump on board. Unfortunately, we find ourselves in the position of choosing between two people, and the winner is going to be the lesser of two evils.
True.
I don't believe that in this day and age, in the fine country that we live in, that should be those should be, and how could they be our only options? But we've gotten ourselves to this point, so there's no one to blame but the citizens. So I just think it's a surreal time in today's world in a number of aspects, and the presidential race is a scary one.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. When you were on The Apprentice, you were working for a charity that you're hoping to make a bunch of money for, and I know you're involved in a lot of different causes. What's most dear to your heart right now?
The military is the closest to my heart. There's no question. Things are happening all across the world, and people have different opinions of the military. And, I want to show them our support. I want to show them my support, and I'm going to do that till the day I die. I don't care what happens. And, I owe my ability to go out and entertain people to the fine men and women who protect our country, and to fight for people that they don't even know, yet they put their lives on the line and go out there and do the right thing. That's quite honorable, if you ask me. And those who have served, and those who are continuing to serve, and those who will serve are get my 100% support.
Well, there you have it. That's Bill Goldberg. And if you were with us last week, he talked about Colin Kaepernick, and he said he felt that Kaepernick not standing for the anthem was disrespecting the U.S. military. But he did say that Kaepernick has got the right to do and say whatever he wants to say. What would you like to say in the final few seconds that we have here, Eric?
How could he say he's not entertaining? That was completely entertaining. I think he's very entertaining. He likes to speak his mind.
He does. He's something else. I hope he comes back. It'd be fun to see him wrestle once again. Thanks to Goldberg. Hey, we had Shaq on the show. We got the Hall of Fame inductions tomorrow night. We got Jeff Fisher, Fred Dreyer, the inimitable Eric Geller, and of course our engineer Brandon McCormick, who pulled it all together today, and we really appreciate his help. Be sure to join us next Thursday. More Open Season at 3:05 p.m. Until then, just get out and try to have some fun, will you please?
Having any fun? What you getting out of living? What good is what you've got if you're not having any fun? Are you having any laugh? Are you getting any loving?
You're listening to KCAA, Loma Linda, California. The best station in the nation.
I'm Tom Busby, CNBC Radio. The White House today naming retired U.S. Air Force Brigadier General Gregory Tohill as the nation's first cybersecurity czar, with the goal of protecting our computer infrastructure and the government's defenses against hackers. On Wall Street, stocks lower again today. The Dow down 46 points.